Another really great idea, something very innovative, and we've been hearing that a lot about tools to help with mobility. And it's such an important thing, which is why Denise Repko, who is a specialist in wellness and an expert in specifically geriatric mobility and helping with training, she brings to us Legorsize. This is the Pro Motorized leg movement machine designed to give you regular movement and help promote healthy joint mobility, giving you, providing you with a gentle flex of your ankles and your knees, all by just sitting down, putting your feet on the Legorsize and letting it do the work. So when you're talking about mobility, we're talking about folks that literally couldn't even do the pedaling of a mobility, machine by themselves. This is assisted.
It's assisted, and this is actually for the people who need it most.
This
is not a treadmill, this is not an elliptical, and it's not going to replace that. This is literally for the person who is sitting and sedentary and has been told, like my father, by his physician, by his doctor, you need to move more, you need to get more activity, you need to use those joints, you need to increase your circulation, and all of that is what LegXercise brings to you. And it doesn't get any easier. It's a simple remote device that you'll point the remote at the product, and there's an off button and a 1 and a 2. The 1 is low speed, the 2 is high speed. You can see it doesn't go very fast, even the difference between the two. But what I love is that it does the movement for you. You don't stand on this, you don't sit on this. You simply rest your feet on it in your most comfortable chair or sofa, wherever you normally sit. And you can see the big display down the bottom. This counts your glides or your steps. So if you're on here, putting your feet on here for 1 minute, that's the equivalent of 70 steps. If you're on here for an hour, that's the equivalent of 4,200 steps, or translated into 1.65 miles. Now, my dad's not going to go out and walk 1.65 miles. He needs to keep the range of motion going in those ankles and knees. Absolutely needs that increased circulation, and that's exactly what this brings.
Well, this is, again, that active sitting. So you're, a person that maybe spends a lot of time on the tablet. You work from home and you're locked into a computer or stuck on a meeting for hours at a time. In that hour, imagine you could get 4,000 steps, keep your feet and your legs and ankles moving and keeping your body in motion. If you want, you can, again, do this multiple times a day. It's quiet, so you're not waking up the kiddos, not bothering the pets. You literally are just extending and contracting naturally that movement that your feet want to do. And for those that are unable to continue to do that on their own, this is that walking simulator that helps to provide that active movement, that regular movement.
Absolutely, and it's so critical and it's so necessary and so important. So you see, I had some handheld weights that were just kind of sitting around my house, but this is what you're going to get. When the unit itself is flat, you're going to get a little more stretch or flexion in the front of your ankle. You're going to get that movement through your knee. I'm going to show you when we get back to live. We have these elevating incline steps here. So if you put this on incline, you're going to feel a little bit of more depth of stretch in the back of the ankle, so the posterior ankle or your Achilles. So you'll feel it in different ways. You can sit upright. As you saw, I was kind of engaging with some handheld weights that I had sitting around in my house. So not only am I engaging the core and the hip flexors, I can make this a full body or upper body movement activity if I want. You can use straps, bands, little weights if you like.
Two things I love. I don't have to go anywhere.
Exactly.
I can still enjoy my favorite program or binge watch my favorite show, and we're all going to do that. At some point, you're going to sit, whether you're doing working in the sketchbook like I am, or sitting at the easel, and really sedentary. This is a way to get your extremities moving, and all you do is put your feet on it. You don't have to think about it. The Legorsize is doing the work for you. So this was introduced, what did you say, about a week ago, Jonathan?
About 2 weeks.
3 weeks ago.
3, okay.
4,000 already ordered. So think about the folks on your list that you just wish you could encourage them to get a little bit more mobility. That every time you go to the doctor says, you know what, your sedentary lifestyle really could be better, or you could improve your overall health by just getting a little bit more movement.
Can I tell you the conversation I had with my dad, because I told you his doctor told him, and I said, Dad, you know, we need to move, we need to do more. He said, I'm not going to do it.
He won't.
He just said, no, I'm not going to. Literally, he said, I'm not going to get up and walk more.
I've said that too, when somebody said, oh, do some running. And I thought, I am not doing that.
I'm not going to do it. So I'm just being very honest, and I think a lot of us, this is a gift of love. This was the gift of love for my dad. And I bring up my mom because Jamie lost my mom 4 months ago.
I remember.
And I'm not, you know, I'm going to do whatever I can to help my dad stay a little bit more healthy, or a little bit more active or engaged. He is sitting on his favorite chair in the living room most days, all day. This is something that I put in front of him. He laughed at it when he first saw it, and then he sat on it for a couple hours and he said, oh, okay, I feel it. Yeah. I feel the warmth,
and why not? If you don't have to do anything, why not? Just sit there. You know, it's as close to literally having someone else go like this with your legs,
like
do the physical therapy. Right?
So it's true.
It's as close to that as you possibly can get. So we have it today at $179.98. F43934 is the item number. It's an automatic leg mover, and once again, whether you're sitting and reading your books, which we're going to continue to do, like, let's face it, imagine, like, you know, just saying, okay, I'm going to give myself an hour to sit down and read this book once the kids are in bed, once the dog has been fed. Now you're actively sitting when you put your feet on a LegXercise.
Exactly.
You're still enjoying your book, but now you're also getting the benefit.
Moving.
Right.
And as you said, it's quiet. I mean, it weighs about 5 pounds. It's super, super lightweight. It's engineered and designed that way on purpose. And it's also concave. When I say concave, it's got that little slope. And that was added, because this is patented, by the way, to give you that slight pitch of flexion in your ankles and in your knees. So you will need a couple of AAA batteries for the remote. But also nice that you don't have to bend down if you don't like to. Literally just point the remote at the big number display. You'll press off to turn it off. You'll press 1 for the low speed and 2 for that high speed. But already I've been sitting here for what, maybe 6 minutes? I've done 818 steps. Just sitting here. And although I warmed up a little bit before you came here. But that's the difference between just sitting and doing nothing, or feeling like I'm getting that blood flow, that increased circulation, that little bit of range here, little bit of range here. And as I said, you want to engage upper body. Absolutely, do your stretches, do some yoga, do some breathing, do some meditation. This is soothing. And it doesn't matter what size shoe you are.
Thank you. She points at my big feet and says, look at these big feet. They fit nicely.
I know you always say you have a shoe size that's hard to find.
I am only teasing you. I am only teasing you. And it is very soothing. As a matter of fact, it's kind of lulling me into sleep, Jody. I could really just kind of chill here, get a book, and, you know, I'm out. You know, I'm thinking about my mother-in-law sitting quilting, which is, you know, what she likes to do. My youngest daughter is doing embroidery, so she's sitting a lot, learning the skills of doing embroidery. My other daughter is sewing and making, you know, quilts and that kind of stuff.
I love it.
So, and when you're doing things that are sedentary, let's face it, this is an opportunity to do something that is going to help move your body. So it's you with limited mobility, or anyone else that just wants to engage in active sitting. This is going to do the work for you. F43934 is your item number. Denise, thank you. Jody, thank you. I hate to get up. I'm quite comfortable, actually. Thank you very much, ladies.